And now it's saying this Hangout on air live and live. And there we are. This is being broadcast live to anyone who wants to watch it. And so I'm going to show you a couple of features while we're in here live. Again, the settings is really important. I've learned this the hard way. Like I learned to press the green start broadcast button the hard way because I broadcast for an entire hour and then realized I never started the broadcast. So nothing was recorded and I had to do it over. So you always come in and check your microphone, make sure it's working, make sure that your speakers are working. But again, ideally, you would want to have headphones with a microphone so you don't have that feedback. This is where we were able to invite other people, and this is where you can mute your microphone, or unmute your microphone, or turn your camera on or off. The chat box. If you've ever watched Google Hangout, I know a lot of times you'll see us and we'll be cracking up or laughing, and nobody knows why we're laughing. It's because we're sending crazy messages to each other. Like, for instance, my friend Linda Lindsay, who is a librarian in Maui, Hawaii, she was doing her show and her roosters kept crowing the whole time. And so we were like, Linda, tell your roosters to shut up. And so then we're all making fun of Linda and her roosters in the chat box. Our audience can't see our chat box, but everyone who's participating in the chat can see the chat box. And we're just dying because of her roosters.
Why not keep flipping from your picture to someone else's?
Good question. You want to know the answer? Well, whoever's talking the loudest or where the noise is the loudest rotates the picture. However, if I were to click on somebody's picture as the start person of this, then it's going to stay on sharing even if I'm the one talking the loudest. So when I do a show like CL News Night, I will click on the person who's talking so it's not bouncing back and forth so that it doesn't go to Linda every time a rooster's crow. It'll stay on the person who's talking. And so we can come in and like I could stay on Reginald's. Just the person who initiates the call. And there are other controls that you can do as well.
And so, are we on the chat group too?
You are, except y'all are using devices. And so you don't have all these fancy things. You just get to see in here. So what I'm
Nancy says, Nancy reminds you.
she was like, can we participate in chats? But they have tablets or devices instead of a laptop or a desktop, so they can't do all that. So it's ideal if you're going to do this for a show or something, or a group conversation to have laptops or a desktop. But you can still do it from there. Our FBLA teacher, she knows that her students are super involved in lots of after-school activities, don't have time to meet, and so they just be using their iPads when they can and talk back and forth to each other using Google Hangouts with their iPads. So it's a really good way to do clubs as well. All right. What I love about everything in Google is it's wax on, wax off, click on, click off. So if I don't want that chat box there, I just click on it again to get rid of it. So click on, click off. All right.
Do you have a way of controlling the participants' volumes?
I can. I actually come in here and I can mute them. And now, oh, who have I not muted? Myself. So unmute myself. All right, so this is really great. So if you're wanting to make a tutorial for your teachers or for your students, because it's about that rewindable learning, empowering students to be masters of their own learning, this is where it really comes in, and especially if you're like got curlers in your hair and drinking a glass of wine and petting your cats like I do. But so you go to screen share. I usually do entire screen, and then click share, and now it looks all psychedelic, right? But what it does is it records whatever you see on your screen is what your audience now sees. So I could come in here and I could open up the presentation and I could continue walking through, and all this is available to everybody here as soon as I post it today. And I do the arrows pointing, click this, click that. There's your links if you forget where to find your links, your start options.
With the links, do you typically share the YouTube page or do they have to have a Google Plus to do the events page?
No. I usually share the YouTube page. Yeah. Or I really like to embed, though. I usually embed onto our wiki that we have. So I have that here, and then when I'm ready to stop sharing my screen, I just click that stop sharing, and now I can come back to the Hangout. And that's the hardest part, is finding your way back to the Hangout. It's like, uh-oh, now which tab is it, or where did I minimize it to? And you have that.
Mine has suddenly stopped. I'm not seeing anything except just pictures.
It might be the Wi-Fi, yeah, because of the video. This is the showcase feature. Again, I don't know a lot about that. This is your question and answer feature that I turned on. So your audience can actually submit questions, and as questions show up, you can mark them to be the next question to be answered. Bring that to your audience.
Sorry, you may be about to cover this, but can another member of the Hangout share their screen?
Yes.
Who was merely invited?
Yes.
Okay, as long as they have the laptop and that toolbar.
Right, right. Because that's what we do with our guests when they come on. They usually have some sort of presentation to show, to visualize what they're talking about or discussing on the show. And so they just go out and do a screen share as well.
So if
Yes.
one person shares, which one would be done?
You'd have to share one at a time. And that's a really good question. Yes. This is all we have. How did you put that Hangout right there? That's it. And then you can invite somebody. All right, so again, click on, click off. You can take pictures. This is where you can control what's going on. You can control other people's stuff. This is really important. If you want to look a little bit professional, it's called the Hangout Toolbox. And you just come right over here, and you turn on your lower third. And what it does is it actually adds, oh, let me turn off my custom lower third. All right. It adds your, whatever you want. So I wanted to have that I'm at Georgia EdTech Conference. Yay. I could do that. And, oops. Now it looks backwards up here, but to your audience it will look normal, but if that freaks you out, you can always click here. But it gives you a little bit more of a professional look and feel. I made a custom one, and I've got that on my. You probably notice I'm a little more. And you can also turn off the toolbox, and it won't get rid of the local information down here.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, I'm kind of behind, but I'm catching up. So, like, I didn't bring my iPad today, but I wanted to follow you on my iPhone. So, I just downloaded it, but then I was reading the settings saying that when you're asked to set this up, you have to do a phone number to confirm.
You don't have to.
If you're using the iPad, an iPad doesn't come with the phone.
But still use a cell phone number. What that does is it protects you
Okay.
from somebody using your account.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a protection feature.
But it's not
That's a good question.
call you to,
No.
talk to the intelligence, right?
Right, right. Now, they'll probably send you a verification
Okay.
code, but that's all. And that's to verify actually you and not somebody else.
All right.
Good question. All right, this is how we plan and how we plan different things. I do different presentations all over with people, you know, in Washington State and New York and down in Louisiana, and we get together through Google Hangouts. But right here, I went to these three little dots here down at the bottom, and I can come and get more apps. So what I got is a Google Drive app. So I can come into my Google Drive, and I can bring up anything that I have, any document I have, and everybody in that Hangout with me can work on it together. So we can open up a shared notes, and anyone who's, again, using a laptop can type with me on that document. So all of us, all 10 of us could be working on a document or a presentation together. And that's really a cool feature as well.
But they can't see other things in your drive.
No, that's right. Only what you share with them in the Hangout. And then the Google Effects is just fun, and we do that when we're just being silly and goofy sometimes. So I usually like to be pirate. So let's see. Are you going to be rude today and not work? There we go. So you can just do silly things like this. There we go. Pirate hat. And it will follow you. There you go. And so you can just do that if you want. It's just silly. Yes, sir.
I could see this as if I would make a presentation at my students, and some of them maybe would have a little bit of difficulty in one aspect of it, like the one right now said, the kid doesn't really understand what these statements. But I make a slide or something that kid can look at it as an user.
That's exactly what it's for. I'm glad you said that. Yes. Did everyone hear what he said? How you can make a slide, like maybe if a student has a problem with thesis statement, could he make a slide and walk through how to create a thesis statement? Of course, and what would you use to show that slide?
Google Slides.
Right, a PowerPoint or anything, and then you use this share screen feature. You go out and you pull up that slide, and then you walk them through the steps. And then when you're done walking them through the steps, you stop sharing and come back and say, all right, so if you have any questions, let me know. And what I love about this too is all this is being recorded, and so you can stop, rewind, play it back. That's how I learned most of the things I know about technology is by looking at videos where somebody's telling me how to do it. And I'll have two computers out, or I'll have my phone out, and I'll have the video playing, and I'll pause it, and I'll do what they say. And then I press play, pause, and do what they say. And so I work my way through it, and the kids will do the same thing. So stumble over lessons is what you would start with, the ones that you know your kids have a hard time with. And maybe if they could just watch it 3, 4, 100 times, they might get it that way. And then they don't feel stupid. Somebody's calling you. All right, so the little dots take you to more apps, and there's lots of other apps like desktop is where I can take over somebody else's computer. So when my teachers come and say, I can't understand why it's not working, I don't have to run to go get to them and leave my students unattended. I can sit there, see everything on their computer and control their computer and you can see what's going on. And so it's a great, easy way for you to do things, games.
Quick question, I'm sorry.
No.
Remote desktop, does that work with the Hangout, or is that the extension for the Chrome browser itself? Or
No, this is inside of the Hangout itself.
Hangout. But it allows you to
go in and take over their computer.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they're having a question, you can do that. So there's lots of different things in here.
So the person who called can invite someone to take over theirs. You could have called me and take over mine.
I can only take over if you give me permission. Yeah. So you'd have to give me permission. So don't worry about the kids coming in and taking over your computer and changing all their grades. That's not going to happen. I grew up most of my life. I just moved about 3 years ago from Fort Benning, Georgia area, and I presented to the soldiers down there about story before bedtime. And this is really cute. It's great for me having with my grandchildren. So right here you have story before bedtime, so you can choose to either read live in a Google Hangout or to record a story before bedtime. So if I wanted to read to my kid live, I can come in here and I can pick a book. Oops, let's see. Yes, this is free. I can come in and select the book that I want, like my grandson loves building things. I could come in here and I could actually read the story to him, or if I wasn't recording the story, I could see him live and he could interact with me, and I could say, Liam, what is that? And he'd be like, it's a tractor. That's a dump truck. And we could see, even though we're not living in the same place, I could read a story to him every night through something like that. And the soldiers really liked that family connection that they could have, because they could actually record that story, and that would be something their kids would have.
And where did you get that from?
That was story before bedtime.
Okay.
And that is an app that you download.
Well, it's part of Google Hangout, and you can from the three dots go here to the add apps. Right. So I have that as well. All right, so those are just a few things. Right down here, if you didn't get the link down in the bottom corner are all again. So if you didn't get them from the main page, if you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to get that link. And you're already here, you can get the links to send those out here as well. Now I'll show you how we embed and what that looks like. So it's TL News Night is the show that I do with my friends. Those of you who know libraries, we're usually the only person in the school who's a librarian, and it's very hard to find networking and to be able to get together and network with other librarians. And this really sets us together and helps us to be able to brainstorm with each other on what to do. So you can see right here, which I need to update this for the November show. So there's the show from October 20th. It's embedded, which means instead of just being a link, it's this actual square. And so I put that in with the embed code there, and these were our friends from North Carolina. And so you can just click, and then the show will start to play. Now notice right here where it says be a part of the conversation, click here to join the audience for the Hangout on Air. That's where you can actually, when you click on that, remember I enabled the question and answer feature, and I enabled the applause feature where you can give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Where you're going there, that's how they would do that. So whether they're watching this on YouTube, or whether they're watching it through the Google Hangout, or they're on my wiki, or they're on my Moodle page, or my, what else do we have? Different learning management systems, they can click on this. And then they can actually participate if it's live. Of course, this is recording, so I'm not doing this. TL News Night is the third Monday of every, at what time? 8 o'clock Eastern.
When you click on that, does it pop out the new window? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is
And so-
TL? What is TL?
Teacher libraries. And so yeah, see how it pops out there, and then they can participate. And this is where I was playing show bases, where I was sending in different links to this.
That's where the question section will be.
Right. And see right here, the thumbs up and thumbs down. We can see what's going on there as well. So it lets you gauge your audience. Kind of really cool. And so then we also, all the shows are recorded, so we can go all the way back to the very first show we ever had, which was with the New York State Librarians. And after they were on and totally slammed their legislators about how they have 300 librarians for, I don't know, 15, whatever. It was a ridiculous small amount. Suddenly they got funded again. Library suddenly got funded again after they were on the show and talked about what was going on. So you can see I'm just in my house doing this. So it's a really fun way, and everything's actually recorded and they're archived for you to have. All right, so we have just about 5 more minutes left. What are your burning questions? Number one, thank you very much for asking the questions you have, because I think it helps clarify a lot of things. Notice down here you can see how many viewers you have. So we actually have 300 people outside the room who are viewing this live right now, what we're doing.
At the end of the class, can you put the links back up? Because you put them up, but they took them away. So.
Yeah, matter of fact, why don't we do this? Because I should have done this at the beginning. So I'm going to come out here and let's bring up Twitter, and we could say.
Oh, hold on now. I'm just getting used to Twitter.
Oh, Twitter is where it's at.
I just downloaded like just now.
Twitter is where it's at. You've got to do Twitter. Oh, seriously? What's my? I thought I had it.
Guy, not a social guy.
Excuse me, Nikki.
Yes.
I'm assuming that just like with any other YouTube video, if your broadcast goes horrifically wrong, and go delete it.
Yes. So let's take a look at that real quick since my Twitter is wanting to be a nut right now. So you can come out and go to your YouTube channel. All of you have a YouTube channel. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube channel. So you have that, and you can come in and, let's see, they always like to change things around. So you can come in and Video Manager, and you can come out, and if you don't like what you've done, you can always change the settings. So if you don't want it public anymore, you can come in and you can change those settings from public to unlisted or private. Unlisted means they can only get to it if you share the link. Private means nobody but you can see it, or you can completely delete it out. So I'm going to cancel that. Also, I've made some mistakes and I wanted to make the whole entire thing all over again. So you have YouTube Editor, which is really awesome and it's free. So YouTube Editor, Video Editor. And so what this does is any video that you've made, you can just drag it down, and you can make fixes to it, you can splice things together, you can cut it, you can add filters, you can add text. So if you wanted to put titles over, if you wanted to add in other music or whatever, you can do that as well. All the same type of things that you could do with Camtasia Studios, you can do here for free with YouTube Editor. So if I wanted to add transitions in my, it's a lot like iMovie without having to pay for iMovie, where you can make those changes. You can add your titles and banners, you can add music, pictures, copyright, and all sorts of things. Something you've uploaded. Right. So something you've uploaded. Mm-hmm.
Is there a blur or a cover feature where you cover a student name or something like that?
I usually blur those out beforehand.
Oh, you blur it out beforehand?
I usually go and blur that out beforehand. And then you just save it and it's automatically there in your YouTube. And that's what I like about Google Hangouts is because when we stop this, it's already on YouTube right now. People can watch it on YouTube right now. I don't have to convert anything or upload just anything. It's just there. And the link is there. Y'all asked excellent questions today. Anything else?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right, very good question. He's asking, would this work for Macs or PCs or what internet capable device? Any internet capable device. That's the other thing I like about Google. Because if you're thinking about going one-to-one or BYOD, well, the BYOD can be very scary. Because you've got 30 kids in your classroom, you could have 30 different devices. And a lot of people, teachers get hooked on an app. Well, if the app only works on 5% of your kids' devices, it's not going to be a good teaching thing. You want device agnostic, and everything Google is device agnostic. He's amazing with Google and can teach you tricks you would never believe that you can do with Google. And because it's device agnostic, you can use it with any device that you have. And what was it? Google. Anything Google. Now, personally, we gave our kids MacBooks. I would recommend the Chromebook. It's only $199, and as long as you're doing everything cloud-based, you can use it. Well, my only thing with tablets and devices is because you're limited with what you can do on it. You don't have the full features. And that's why I recommend the Chromebook or a laptop over something like a tablet, because the tablet limits you on what you can do and it doesn't give your students the full features. So that's just my personal opinion.